this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Okay, it's a bonsai video, so why am I filming in the orchid grow room? The reason is it's a bit blowy outside and the wind noise gets on the camera microphone. So I thought I'd do the introduction in here where it's quiet. And at the moment, not raining, but rain could easily interrupt play. We're getting heavy showers quite frequently. And we've had 5 this morning so far since it got light. And 2 of them were really heavy as well. Right, so what am I up to? It's basically an update. I went to the Wessex Bonsai Society's workshop yesterday. First time in a long time. The previous time I went there was just to see how it was going along. There were 6 people, 2 of which were visiting and left shortly after I got there. And including me, that left 4 people. And I thought, this is not a society, this is, you know, you'd have more people if you had some friends meeting in your back garden. So I didn't bother again. But at the Staverton event that I went to earlier in the year, which is like it's like a bonsai boot sale. It's in a field, you know, lots of private sellers, some traders, all sorts of stuff. It's a nice day out, very sort of friendly, informal, not a show. It's just a sale really. And I met up with quite a few people I knew from the real old days with the Wessex Bonsai Society and had a chat and everything, especially with Mike. And it seems that the Bonsai Society was picking up. And the number of people turning up for the workshops was increasing, so I thought I'd give it a go. There were quite a few there, more than enough to make it a nice event. There's a mixture of people. As I say, there were some people there that I knew, but they said that that was a really good turnout, and yet there were 4 regular members missing. So there should have been 4 more than that. So I'm well pleased that it's up and running. I will rejoin. Now at the moment I can pay each time I go, which is what I'll do. I think you have to pay each time you go anyway, to pay for the hall basically. So you know, it's not ridiculously expensive, quite honestly. Anyway, this video I took 3 bonsai in yesterday, one of which I sold because I didn't want it anymore. Pleased with that. So that's one gone. I've got another one I want to get rid of, which I will take with me next time I go. That might not be so easy to get rid of. Yesterday's was a juniper. They are popular, so that went okay. Right, so I took in my Deshojo maple and my false larch, my golden larch, to work on. Right? Now, I like to, with bonsai when I work on them, I like a sort of before and after. Unfortunately, I forgot to do a before video before I left yesterday morning, because it was all a bit sort of last minute, getting the stuff in the car, trying to dodge the rain and all that sort of stuff. So it didn't get done. So what I've done is I've gone back to a video I made earlier in the year, which was basically a full garden and bonsai update. I've downloaded it and then basically took it into my software editor, video editing, and cut out the 2 bits of those 2 bonsai, the 2 clips. So we have videos of what they looked like before I took them to the workshop. And I'll put those 2 clips on now, and then I'll be back with the camera outside and we'll have a look at what they look like now. So these are the 2 clips from a while back before the bonsai went to the workshop. I am going to rejoin the Wessex Bonsai Society. I chatted with people at the bonsai fair. I didn't make a video of that, I just filmed the tree that I bought when I got back. And I said that their first meeting is the last Sunday in August, so it's actually the 31st of August. And I said, I tell you what I do, I'll do you a favour and I'll do me a favour at the same time. I'll bring my Deshojo maple in to demonstrate what not to do to a maple. which is what I've done, which is just let it grow. I had a very good reason for doing that, because when I repotted it, a lot of the roots were lost because I needed to get it in a deeper pot. But by letting it grow, it will have generated a new root system. So I will take that one into the Bonsai Society, trim it right back, reshape it and recover the bonsai in the bush, because somewhere in there is a really nice bonsai. You can see some of it in under there. And then this is a golden larch or false larch, and I don't know what on earth to do with it. So this one's going to go in with the Deshojo maple to the Wessex Bonsai Society to ask for advice. They love that. The know-it-alls love to tell you what to do. But nobody's coming near it with a pair of scissors. That's my job. But the 5 trees that I planted as a little forest have put on huge amounts of growth this year. It doesn't work like that. The trees, each tree needs to look a bit more like a bonsai tree and be down to a size that represents the forest with those sized trunks. That's the theory. Okay, as you can see, this one's had quite a hack. I did get quite a bit of an advice from one of the very experienced people there, who basically said, you know, the front of your forest should be the 2 big trees. So I had it round the wrong way. I'd forgotten that. To get the scale, you get a greater sense of depth if you start with the bigger trees. You also need the trees at the front slightly taller. And he said, as you've got a 3 and a 2, you ought to have a shape that goes up like that and then slopes down. Yeah, so that this side is taller than this side. So with that in mind, we then attacked each tree. And something I wouldn't have thought of doing, because I think of this as a little forest group, he said you need to initially look at each tree as though it was an individual tree. So you need to find an apex, you need to do your branch selection, crossing branches need to go, all that sort of stuff. So that's basically what we did. So, you know, this tree here now has an apex, we'll get some taper. Same at the back here, you know, we have same with this one here. We took off some of the larger branches to give a single upright, and the same here. So we also agreed that there's very little, if any, information on growing these types of false larch, golden larch, but quite a few people agreed that it should be treated like any other larch. So you can prune it the way you would do a normal larch. You've got alternative buds, which means when you prune a twig or a shoot, you can choose the direction that it will go. So, you know, this twig will now go that way. These will shoot out as well hopefully. So anyway, that's what was done to that. I got a few weeds out while I was at it. So that's where we are with that one. And then the Deshojo, I think you'll agree that's a bit different to the previous clip. Now that is a serious hack, and those big long extensions that were on it, that's moss off the roof. Those big long extensions that were on it had been left too long. They did their job, but to cut them off leaves this sort of thing. So basically, when all the leaves are off, we'll have to go round again and tidy so that the smaller twigs will be what grow on next year. But yeah, the guy who helped me with the larch, one of the sort of more experienced type people there, he liked this tree. He said this is a nice tree, it's got a lot going for it. So there we go. So that's what was done. It was just basically a tidy to reclaim the tree, find the pads, reset the it's a snail, I thought it was a caterpillar. Reset the negative space so that you can see the form of the trunk going up through shape of the branches and all that. So yeah, so that's the work I did. Now, work for next time. I discussed my Satsuki azalea, and basically if I want flowers next year, I've messed up, because it's put on a massive amount of growth. It's done really, really well. Unfortunately, this is where the flowers are, at the tip of all those new shoots, which I think will be a mass of blooms next year. Unfortunately, it now means I can't prune it. If I prune it now, I'll be cutting all the blooms off. So I need to remember that for next year, to actually get it, get it, the timing right. That's what it really comes down to, getting the timing right. So that's that. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what else I'll take in next time round. I might take the hornbeam in, because again that needs all these long extensions taken off, and I need to decide on what to do with this apex, because it's appalling. I need something to grow vertical to become a new apex, and I think that's quite a major decision. It's probably going to be this one, because that will bend upright, but it's not going to blend in with the trunk very well. Needs discussion, needs other heads to look at it and think. So I may take that one in next time. So we shall see how we go. And several other people have had this happen to some of their maples. One person brought one in, and I said, I've got one just like that, but I'm confident that mine's not dead. I'm confident that these buds have life in them. And there are still a few green leaves on there, so there is life in this tree. Obviously we're not going to get autumn this year. But yeah, that's just what happens when you're in a heat wave and you miss one pot when you're watering. That's all that happened. I just missed one. So it will come back. It's not lost, or I'm confident it's not lost anyway. So there we go. This is the sister tree that goes with it. They are a pair. If you look at the shape of them, they're very similar. I got them at the same time, and they got treated in the same way, really. They are a different variety. I mean, you can see this one has sort of green patches with white stripes on the bark. And this one over here is a more gnarly type of bark, more grooved. So, but yeah, it will come back. So yeah, I think what I might do next time I go to the workshop is, if I get one of the setup tables in a corner, I might be able to set the tripod up and film what I'm doing, but to be able to do that I have to film in such a way that nobody else is in the video, just me. Now I can do that, providing other people don't come round behind me. But I think I can sort of, advise people, if you come round here you'll be on YouTube. Usually stops them. And then I'd have to replace the soundtrack. So I'd have to replace the soundtrack with music. But at least, at least I could film what I'm doing that way. It's an idea, it's not definite. It's just an idea. So there we go, that'll do for today. I'm pleased with the way that's come back, because that was in a bit of a state, and we will get the ramification and everything back next year. That'll be good. So yeah, so thanks for dropping by and all that, and I'll see you next time.